Introducing myself, my name is Bernita Humitwa. I am a District 3 member from Ojibwe and a enrolled band member. I'm presently working at Dragoncino Hinckley. So we've received our volunteers for tonight, and thank you so much, volunteers, for helping out. So the audience, this is going to be the rules. The audience will give each speaker an opportunity to be heard. This is not a community meeting, so comments from the audience will not be accepted. A table for campaign materials is provided outside of the candidate forum meeting room, right outside of that door. And we ask that no campaign materials be brought into the meeting area. The forum tonight is not a rally or debate. In deference to our limited time, please hold applause until the end of the evening. The moderator, who is me, has the authority to adjust ground rules to meet unexpected circumstances. Timelines and rules will be strictly followed, and the forum will end promptly as scheduled. Please turn off your cell phones and pagers, and if you must make a call or take a call, please step outside of the meeting area. Recording of any kind is not allowed. However, we will be starting our Zoom meeting here shortly. In the interest of fairness to everyone involved, it is vitally important that we conduct ourselves in a positive and respectful manner during these forums. All candidates have agreed to the following guidelines established. Keep in mind that I mean no disrespect if I cut you off from speaking while you are presenting tonight. So if your time is up, please understand this. Miigwech. So the order of opening statements was determined by a draw, and you've all had that opportunity to draw. You have 3 minutes for your opening statements. At this time, I'd like to introduce the candidates running for the position of Secretary Treasurer. Sheldon Boyd Sr., Carolyn Bolio, Juanetta Thompson. And forgive me for missing your middle names. So in order to, the order of opening statement was determined by a draw, that as well. So the candidates will have 3 minutes. All candidates will have 3 minutes for your opening statement. And I'd like to introduce the candidates running for the position of District 2 representative. The first one is Daryl John Abid, Michael Robert Abid, Ayabens Laprairie Mashkoop, Thomas Benjamin Sr., and Wendy Megan Merle. The order of opening statement was determined by a draw. Candidates, you as well have 3 minutes for your opening statements. At this time, I'd like to introduce the candidates running for the position of District 3 representative. Harry Richard Davis and Wallace Irving St. John Sr. We'll start in the same order as the opening statements and continue in a preset revolving order. And at this time, we will start out with District 3, who has been selected to go first. So Wallace St. John, please come forward, and we'll start your 3-minute opening statement. Please have a seat.
So just verbal, no mic or nothing? No?
Correct.
Okay.
It's verbal. We have to loud enough to hear everybody to hear you in the back of the room. Or if you want to stand, your voice projects more standing.
Yeah,
Please
sure.
feel free. But you have to stand in front of the computer.
Yeah.
It's not running. Oh, yeah. there it is. Okay. Tell us when time is going to start. Ready? Okay, start.
Congrats everybody for coming. I appreciate you for taking time out your day today, especially at the end of the day. And we've all been through some of the rigmaroles of a busy day, mostly administration, paperwork, meetings, etc. But I'm asking for your support again for the next 4 years. The last 4 years have been very challenging, but been very rewarding. When I first came into office, I had many of my constituents ask me and present me with initiatives that they would like to have seen done. I said, in order in which I received them, that's the kind of the way I went throughout the course of my administration. So there was a solar panel, kind of introduced into the band to get green energy going. They wanted zero tolerance drug policy. They wanted safe havens for people coming out of treatment, a safe place for them to go. Along with, we need more of our band member people in key positions in the casino. Also, there was 2 other ones that they're still in the process of being completed. So, you know, in the 4 years, I managed to get those things done. But you know, my time is, I still need some time to finish it all. The greatest thing that I wanted to do, not because I'm great or I'm greater than anybody, but it's to get the people to think differently than the way we have been. You know, over the years, we've been groomed to believe that it's the government that's the problem. Everything, when you go to community meetings, they always say, you fix my issue. We have this issue. There's a housing issue. There's dog issue, etc., so on and so forth. So what they do, they attack the commissioners. They attack the administrators. This house is boarding up because you ain't doing your job. So I wanted to change the thinking of people to say, you know what, it's not the commissioners here that broke the house. It wasn't the directors that stole the stuff out of the house. It was our own people. So, and I was in a meeting today where I talked about this with a couple of government affairs employees. You know, it wasn't the commissioner that did that. It was your relative. The people living across the street from you. They did that. So are you going after them with the same energy that you're going after these people? But running out of time here, I still need a little bit more time to finish everything, to get the statutes upgraded. That's where we're at. Yeah.
Thank you for adhering to the time as well. We have a list of who goes for the District 2.
So I'm done now for now.
Yes, we wait. Feel free to stand or sit, up to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I come before the people of the Mille Band of Ojibwe from the District 2 East Lake and all communities that are involved within the district that I wish to represent. And I represent a lot from our community that has been there for many, many years, is who we are as a people, as an Anishinaabe. I represent the people that are there, that we, as a people that are very culturally involved as us as an Anishinaabe. I sit on many drums in our community. I represent a lot of what that is, who we are as an Anishinaabe. There's so many more things that we, as a people, that can a lot more what we can, our history that has been neglected for so many years. So many years they've been neglected. And I want to be the voice of those people that are going to establish something for us to achieving as a people. And we can achieve this by doing the economic development for us as a people that so rightfully and so we've been so neglected for so many years. We, as a people of the District 2 representative, we need opportunity just like everyone else does. And for us to achieve that, you, as the people that are eligible voters for this district, we can only do and achieve this by your vote, and which I ask you of today. Mille.
Thank you. Okay, so per the drawing, Tommy was first. The second one to now make an opening statement would be Michael Abid. Please come forward.
If we could have Phyllis, iPhone, please mute your phone.
Hi, my name is Michael Abid. I'm looking for support for the District 2 representative. 56 years old. I'm a lifelong resident, although I had to step out of there to learn some training and stuff so I can continue working. Right now I'm working as the housing supervisor for District 2, and I hear a lot of problems that are going on within the districts, and I would like to be the representative. So, if you would.
Thank you. And next we'll move on to our final and third person that's present tonight. We do not have Michael Robert Abid here, nor do we have Ayal Bates, a Prairie Mashkul. So the final. Did I say Michael? Oh. Daryl John Abid is not here. My apologies. Okay. Wendy, if you want to come forward, please.
So Anin Babas Gane Ojibwe Nishapas, Wendy Merrill Indigo, Messiah Gunning and Dutwa, Missing Dash in Ramadan, meeting. I want to thank the Mille Government Affairs for putting this candidate forum together this evening. So for the next 4 hours, we'll be having the opportunity to engage with the wisdom and experience to all those present here tonight. I wish all of us in the room a good candidate forum and best of luck to everyone here. So my husband, Carlos Merrill, and I have 3 kids together, Emilio Nevea Carlos Jr.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm trying to join the Zoom meeting and I don't have audio.
I'll just keep. Soleil, Brooklyn, Rihanna, and my nephew Derek, who we now consider our own children. After my mom passed in November, my husband and I took on our nephew Landon, so altogether we have 8 kiddos. So my leadership experience includes being appointed on the regulatory board as the chair for 4 years, working in Gaming Regulatory Authority as a licensing manager, and working directly in legislative as the Legislative Affairs Director. My casino experience includes my current role as Assistant General Manager for Grand Casino Mille, coaching cross country for the Mille Raiders for 5 years, and being a mom. My education background includes associates from Central Lakes College, bachelor's in organizational behavior from St. Scholastica, master's in tribal administration from UMD, and I'm currently completing my MBA, so I'll be walking on May 16th. So since December, I've been actively campaigning in our communities, meeting with band members, explaining why I'm running for the District 2 seat for the non-removable Mille Band of Ojibwe. My knowledge and experience and my love for my community makes me an ideal selection for your District 2 rep. I would love the opportunity to serve the District 2 community. I met with many of you through Zoom listening sessions, individual conversations, and my scheduled meet and greets in both Isle and McGregor communities. There are definitely underlying themes that we need to focus on. Jobs, safe housing, elder care, preventative measures for our youth, transportation, and cultural support. When I announced my candidacy, I mentioned that I was inspired by our current and past Mille Span leaderships, and I believe now is the time for me to pick up that torch and set an example for the next generation. District 2 and District 2A are wonderful communities I hope to represent, and under my leadership, I will be engaged, present, be your voice, and look forward to questions tonight as I listen, and I humbly ask for you to consider voting for me. Miigwech.
Be good. Wendy. Okay, we'll continue on the same process, but next with the secretary treasurer's position. But I think we'll answer this lady on Zoom first. Were you able to
Which
hear her?
one, which one was it?
She said she can't hear. Is she on by with her phone?
I don't know.
Okay, now is your opportunity to speak up and for the person that wasn't able to hear. Are you still having issues?
Okay, well, I muted.
If
people.
not, we'll proceed. The first person's name that was drawn for the secretary treasurer opening statement is Carolyn Bolio. Please come forward.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Urban Office Forum. Again, I'd like to thank Government Affairs as well for putting this on. And I just want to let you know that life is short, and I don't know if we can wait another 2 years or 4 years to turn the focus back onto community needs. And those needs being things like housing. We need to have more rentals available. We need to get those lists shortened. We need to have the mortgages approved in a more quick manner. I'd also like to push for sober housing in the urban area and other areas surrounding our communities, because we need sober housing for people to recover from the drug addictions that they suffer from. When I was in office last time, we moved Taro from under administration to its own standalone entity, so it could enforce tribal employment rights across the board, but I don't really know what's happening there. And that area is really important for band members to succeed in our businesses, career development, helping with grievances that they may have. That was what the Taro Commission is supposed to be doing. Per capita, our per caps are exceeding the revenue allocation plan amount, and I know that the RAP has not been revised yet, so we need to get busy and get that RAP fixed. So we're actually following the percentage payouts. We need a small business development program so we can give loans to band members who want to start their own businesses on and off reservation. We've been talking about that for many years, and I know that corporate does have a program where they're helping band members develop business plans, but then it's kind of a dead end after that program. I'd like to reactivate the personal loan program and open that up to all band members. And as long as they got good credit, you know, they can participate in that. I would like to make our band competitive in salaries and benefits so we can recruit more employees to work for us, increasing the minimum wage to at least $16 an hour. If more, that's great, we could do that. And then for the urban specifically, I think we need to have an urban community center down here. And I talked about that a couple of years ago when I ran for the chief executive. Our urban community center, so we can, you know, have events there, powwows, you know, maybe even rent it out to other folks so we can, you know, recoup some of the cost of that. But I think we need an urban community center. And then lastly, I know we're short of time and we can't talk about everything, but elders. I hate to put my husband on the spot, but he got a letter about the elder trip. And apparently there's a raffle for it or a lottery. Not all elders can go. So it's kind of like, you know, a handful can go. I want to make sure that there's funding there for elders, that if any elder wants to go, they can go. We need to fully fund elder activities and make sure our elders are, you know, included, all of them. So I appreciate y'all being here and look forward to speaking to you all one-on-one tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. The next person I'd like to call up is Sheldon Boyd Sr.
set? Okay. Good evening, everyone, and the voters and the people of the band. And I'm coming back here. 4 years ago, I asked to be voted in to have the job of Secretary Treasurer, and I had 4 questions, which turned into 4 goals. And I come back and report back to the people that I achieved all those goals. My first questions was, do you know anything about the band's investments? And that resulted in a law called the Institutional Investment Committee. My next question is, did you know what the operating budget of the government was? And I got that's all online now on the Title 25 Revised of Statutes. That's in the tribal register. My next question was, do you know how much your elected officials earn? That's now Title 26 that was posted, and you can all see this on your phones and what I'm talking about. That title, that statute, Title 26, compensation for elected officials, was passed in 2012, but membership never got to take a look at that. So when I first got in there, you can't have hidden laws, so I directed that to be published. So all that's online. And the last one was live streaming, and got that through with Legislative Order 30-20. And now anyone on their phones can watch those the live streaming as they happen, and you can go back and see the other ones through the archives. And I wanted to break this. I'll finish the last 3 minutes of what I plan to do the next 4 years. I just wanted to tell everybody what I got done these 4 years, and I did what I said I was going to do. And that's why I asked him for a vote again to get this to keep on going 4 more years. And I wanted to let everyone know that all of this is a group effort. I can't read that.
1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute. Okay. It's all a group effort. All the things that we've gotten done. And you have to thank the staff that we have. You have to thank the members of the assembly, because it's hard to convince these guys to change to live streaming. It's hard. It's hard for them to say yeah, but they said yeah, and that changes everything. Okay, and all this about the investments, and have them guys take a look at it. It's going to be a big year for those investments. Hard for those guys. Is that stuff?
30.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway. 30 seconds. We got this book published this year. This is the statutes that was the first time published since 2006. And we got this published through the official acts of the band. Those are all a work product that I provided to membership during my 4 years here. You know.
Still have 3 seconds.
Okay, that's good.
Be quiet, Sheldon. Okay, next, you'd like to call up Juanetta Thompson. Juanetta, come up, and you can either have a seat or stand. It's up to you, your choice. But if you see yourself in that picture there you go.
All right. Okay. Bonjour. My name is Juanetta Thompson. I grew up in District 1, but I currently live in District 3 and have for the last 29 years. I am running for Secretary Treasurer because I am tired of the bullshit. Aren't you? I have never been arrested. I have never been arrested for theft or drugs. I have never been charged with a felony that I had to plead down, and I have never been in jail. Our tribe is better than this. We can do better. We are a rich tribe, rich in culture, rich in traditions, rich in family. As a tribe, are we financially rich? Do you know? As a shareholder, do you want to know? I do. I want to know why we are still struggling. I have a bachelor's degree in business. I have 20 years working in human resources and working with financial investments and investment advisors through our 401k plans at corporate and the casinos. I have over 24 years working with executives overseeing multi-million-dollar budgets and managing multiple casino departments. My greatest achievement as the Assistant General Manager at Grand Casino Hinckley was in 2021. We had record-breaking numbers, and we sent more money to the band than since we opened in 1992. My knowledge and experience with financial investments will ensure the continuity of our investment portfolios. People who I have worked with have described me as a transparent, honest, respectful, and a person of integrity. I am seen as an empathetic, caring leader who focuses on leading with the human element. Change is hard and sometimes really scary. With our current needs, they are ever changing and growing. Changes mean progress, and that's what we do to need to grow. In today's world, we have people struggling with addiction, homelessness, inability to get a home loan or get a job due to lack of childcare, transportation, having a criminal background, or the lack of following American Indian preference. We also have people hiring their friends instead of band members, racism and lateral violence happening to our own people in our communities, in our businesses and our government. It's time to stop the corruption. We need housing. If you want financial accountability in all areas of government, I can give it to you. I do not make promises that I can't keep. My dream is that thank you.
Okay, at this time, we can give a round of applause to our candidates. Congratulations. Now we'd like to ask all of our candidates to step to the other room, and we'll start out with Wallace St. John and ask him questions that were posed for District 3. So the rest of you candidates, please follow Shelley. She's going to be the guard keeper of the door. Lock the door if you need to, Shelley. What's that? What?
They're just wondering why the secretary treasurer in District 2 have to go. Are they the same question?
Oh, no, they're not. Well, if they want to come back in, they can.
Because usually it's just that district.
Yeah,
or-
I see what you're saying. I thought everybody was going to go. Get out of here.
Hey, Kurt, you can ask them if they want to be
Yeah.
here, they can.
Yeah, they can come back in. D3, and then we'll go to D2.
And then District 2 goes. Treasurer's go.
You can go sit back down with that.
Oh, my God. 3 questions.
No. Oh, yeah. You got to.
And then at the end, you get 5 minutes.
Just answer these.
Think they're close.
How many minutes do they have to answer these questions?
Yeah.
Minute per question?
And then at the end, I think you get another.
And then we're gonna have them come back and do a closing after, right?
Is that 3 minutes too, or is it 5? 3?
Yeah, sorry. My bad, I was trying to get everybody to leave. Okay, we'll proceed. Yeah, we'll wait for our timer keeper. Timer the keeper going. Thank you. 1 minute, right? Okay. First question, what can you bring to Lake Helena in the past, focus has been on Hinckley. 1 minute.
Well, it's already started, you know, the whole idea of, you know, dealing with drugs, that's band-wide. It isn't just privy to Hinckley. But right now, as far as the housing issue, we got more elders wanting to live out there because it's more peaceful. In the housing development up in Hinckley, it's kind of running a little ruckus, a little chaotic right now, so there isn't too much that hasn't already been done. You know, the houses are being renovated. I think that's the biggest issue out in Lake Lena right now, is that the houses are being renovated. You know, we got a crew going around and knocking down these houses from being boarded up. Lake Lena is good. It's peaceful. I don't really see where, you know, there's really an issue. So it's very peaceful.
Okay, Miigwech Wally, thank you for answering that question. Your next question is, do you support first descendants receiving funding for some band services, like such as education, and same as the 777 programs?
Oh, yes, indeed, I do support that. You know, I've always been someone who went after that. You know, the blood difference, to me, there is no blood difference, you know, there is no blood quantum. That's all something that's made up. You know, if you're a descendant, you know, why can't you be enrolled? You know, I'm still trying to work with our other elected officials here in Mille Lacs Band to get that blood quantum issue thing dropped or lowered. You know, why can't descendancy, and I think there is some descendancy going on as far as a higher education. But yeah, I'm in full support of that. I think everybody's got to be treated fairly across the board, regardless if you're enrolled or not. We're still Native people. We're still one people under the Creator. And if we want to be the children of the Creator, we got to manifest it. I mean, we got to put action behind everything we talk about.
Oh, Miigwech. Your last and final question is there, well, it's a statement first of all, and then a question. There is a lot of lateral oppression that has divided our people. Hurt people hurt people. What are your thoughts about healing, and how does that impact your life and your values?
You know, we walk around in this earth, you know, ever since we're small, we're dealing with trauma. You know, either whatever kind of abuse that we're familiar with that we all went through. Some of the biggest issues is we don't forgive because it's too sensitive, it's too hurtful. You know, there's an issue, there's a program, not a program, but a training going on called Mending Broken Hearts, and it deals with helping people let go of past trauma. I went through that, and I thought I was well. I thought, man, I got it. You know, I did some spiritual training and this and that, and I thought I was well. But when I went through that Mending Broken Heart program, I had to cry because there was things buried so deep, and they were finally come, and I let them go. So if you want to be well, you know, make a good choice. Our choices become our reality.
Okay, Miigwech Wally, thank you. Give him a round of applause. Well, I had asked for applause at the end of the session, but I feel it appropriate to give them a hand. Okay, the District 2 candidates, we would ask for Tommy Benjamin first. Tom Benjamin Sr. Okay, have a seat. We have 3 separate questions to ask you. So feel free to, feel free to take your time because I only got 1 minute to answer. Okay, and we'll count on, time you down 1 minute, okay? Ready?
Hmm?
All right, question number 1. How will you make sure District 2 and District 2A gets its fair share of funding?
That has come from the people. For me to voice that opinion has to come from the people, because who are we without the people? Those are the ones that make that decision. Those are the ones that's gonna be called upon to give me the direction as a voice, which is only one voice within the legislative branch. But yet, the direction has to be coming from the people of District 2 and 2A.
Miigwech. Second question, what is your position on the Sandy Lake Reservation? Should they be their own reservation?
They could be only if they have seek their recognition for so many years, which is involved with the 1855. 1855, but yet, yes, they have that ability to do so. But yet, what are we gonna do as a district within its own to be federally recognized as that, as to recognize them as that part of our district? Again, that comes down directly to those that are going to be able to, the majority has to speak for itself for that, to have that determination.
Miigwech. So this is a statement, first part, and then the last part is the question. So there is a lot of lateral oppression that has divided our people. Hurt people hurt people. What are your thoughts about healing, and how does that impact your life and your values?
Yes, I believe that has happened. And the divide that has come within the district, that came to prior leadership. It was not the people's fault. It was the leadership of prior those, the ones that led us in that era. But yet, that's why I say to myself, yes, what do we have? We have our ceremonial drums. We have a Anishinaabe way of who we are as a people. My motto is, come together again. Vote. Tom Benjamin. Yeah.
Miigwech. That's it. Those are the 3 questions. Okay, let's give Tom a round of applause. Next will be Mike Abed. Somebody want to escort him in? Tommy, you can sit out if you'd like. Oh, no, not yet. You can sit. Can't be, he's done. Oh, okay. All right, my bad. I didn't know the process here. Okay, get back in there then. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough, fair enough. Creating new roles. Okay, Michael, come on up. I've got 3 questions that I'm going to ask you, and then for each question, you'll have 1 minute to respond. Okay, you can have a seat if you'd like. We'd like to still see you on the Zoom. Okay, your first question is, how will you make sure District 2 and District 2A gets its fair share of funding?
Well, first of all, I would like to know how much they get. And when I know that, I will make sure that they get their fair share. They'd have to get it. Like right now, we don't hardly have anything in District 2, East Lake. I don't know how it is in District 2 Iowa either, so, but we need to really look and focus on all that.
Okay, Miigwech, your second question. What is your position on the Sandy Lake Reservation, and should they be their own reservation?
I thought that was brought up between the Minnesota Chippewa tribe already. That would have to be, really looked into. I can't really make any statements on that till I know more about it. Then I might be able to say more about it.
All right, your last and final question, then the first part is more of a statement, and then the last part is the question. So there is a lot of lateral oppression that has divided our people. Hurt people hurt people. What are your thoughts about healing, and how does that impact your life and your values?
Well, healing is really important. There's a lot of, everybody getting angry at each other, drug use, violence. There's got to be a way to figure out a lot of that healing is to work into it. And work for all.
Okay, well, Miigwech.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
Appreciate it. And if you would ask, yes. We have one more for the District 3, and that's Wendy Merle. Can you hear well enough back there? Yeah. Come on up, Wendy. Have a seat. We have 3 questions that we'd like to ask you, and you have 1 minute to answer each question.
Okay.
You'll be again signaled on the sign, the time that you have left, and so forth. And your first question is, how will you make sure District 2 and District 2A gets its fair share of funding?
Oh, that's a good question. So our communities are growing. Isle, McGregor area, and even down here in Urban, the people that recognize the District 2. And all you have to do is just keep fighting for that. In my closing statement, I'm going to have a nice piece on fighting for the fair share. So I'm going to just close with that.
Okay, Miigwech. On to question number 2. What is your position on the Sandy Lake Reservation? Should they be their own reservation?
So that is kind of a iffy situation. But I think my advice would be that they have to survey the people. You really have to get input from everybody in the community, not just, a certain few people that kind of speak on behalf of that issue. And if that's something that they want to do, that's really up to the people to decide that.
Thank you. Your last and final question, and this is more of a statement in the front, and then the last part is the question. So there is a lot of lateral oppression that has divided our people. Hurt people hurt people. What are your thoughts about healing, and how does that impact your life and your values?
So, part of this whole election process, I've witnessed firsthand lateral violence. It comes and it's ugly and it gets personal and people attack you, which is really sad. But the thing that I would recommend doing is just staying positive, keep smiling, just keep your head up. And what we can do to help other people doing that too is just, tell them, like, hey, it's not okay to do that. And just having a good mentorship program and teach our kids, like, it's not okay. We kind of do that in our own house. We make sure our kids stay positive and they're not bullies. And I guess all we can do is just recommend that. Miigwech.
Hey, well, Miigwech, Wendy. You can join your fellow candidates in the room, and I believe you'll be coming back out. But let's give Wendy a hand. And on to the secretary treasurer.
My first?
Y'all know what to do? No, Carolyn is first. And then it'll be Sheldon and then you.
Don't talk, Carol.
Don't say anything yet. Come up, have a seat. We want to make sure that you're seen on the Zoom call as well.
All right.
Okay, we'll ask you 3 questions and you have 1 minute to respond to each question. And you can also watch them and they'll give you how much time you have left.
All right.
All right, question number 1. What is the separation of powers and how would you make sure it is followed?
Okay, well, the separation of powers is the 3 branches of government: legislative, judicial, and executive. And the purpose of the separation is that one branch of government doesn't hold all the power. So it's legislative's duty not only to oversee the fiscal responsibilities, but to make sure that the executive and judicial branches are adhering to the law, not breaking the law, things like that. So that's what I would be doing as secretary treasurer, is audits inquiries into programs. If there's irregularities in there, you do inquiries, audits to find out what's really going on. You use the results of those things to push for improvements.
Question number 2, where do you see the band's assets going in the next 4 years?
Hopefully up. You know, I know COVID has put a drain on us for the last 2 years. Casino revenues have went down. Eddie's is closed. You know, a lot of our businesses aren't making a lot of money, but now that COVID is going away, hospitality industry is coming back up. So we need to focus on the best amenities for our casinos, opening our businesses back up, offering competitive wages and salaries so we can recruit the best employees and have the best businesses. So we're the top of the hospitality industry.
Great. Conclude, okay. Miigwech, okay, and your last and final question. If it was 2026 and you were the incumbent, what did you accomplish? Oh no, excuse me. What did you accomplish during your tenure, your term?
Well, we finally finalized the wrap, so it fits our per capita amounts that we're making. And corporate commission is making maximum revenues and our per caps are soaring to the highest levels ever. Tribal employment rights is working for the people. People have jobs, their careers are, they're succeeding in their careers. Everybody's employed. You know, I know that's a long shot, but everybody's employed, everybody's happy. They have childcare, transportation, and they're living their best lives because of what we've done.
Okay. Miigwech Caroline, let's give her a round of applause. Wait your turn for the next 2 to answer. Come on down, Sheldon boy. Have a seat.
Good.
Make sure that you're seen in the camera. We have 3 questions and you'll have 1 minute to respond to each question.
Okay.
And we'll have our timers out here and they'll put up their signals to you. Okay, so question number 1. What is the separation of powers and how would you make sure it is followed?
Division of powers is the model that the band is set up under, and that's someone who makes the law, someone who executes the law, and the third person is one who interprets the law when there's disagreements. And that doctrine, that's a moving, that's always a struggle of power between the two. You'll always see that in between those branches, and it's a good thing. And you'll see those guys always fleshing out those different duties. So that's a moving target.
Miigwech. Okay, we'll move on to question number 2. Where do you see the band's assets going in the next 4 years?
In the next 4 years, the assets is a real general question. Assets can be property. Assets can be, the casinos are assets of the band. All the buildings are assets of the band. Land is assets of the band. I can speak to financial assets, and that's always been a black box. And the performance of those, that's the reason for the institutional investment committee. That's strictly financial assets. So a very general question there, but I can only focus on financial assets.
Anything you'd like to add, or you have how many seconds left?
That's good.
15. Okay, well, Miigwech, Sheldon.
Okay.
Okay, Miigwech. Round of applause, please. That concludes our question and answer section, and we will, I believe, allow them to. Oh, that was only 2? I'm sorry, Sheldon. Come on back. Come on down. Thank you for keeping track. Sorry, I only asked you 2 questions. Come on back. Come on down. Oops, sorry, I only asked him 2 questions. I know, I'm sorry, I only asked him 2. So here comes the 3rd and final question for Sheldon. If it was 2026 and you were the incumbent, what did you accomplish during your term?
I accomplished, live streaming will have been perfected. More cameras, more mobility there as far as live streaming. You'll have 5 years in his live streaming. What I'll have accomplished is we'd have the investment committee in place, and then the band assembly for the first time will get clear reports about the investments of the band. And what that does is gives the other 4 elected officials a clear sense of the financial assets of the band. And you can better plan out for X number of years. And by then we'll have the minor trust funds restructured to earn money like they're supposed to, because our children have been losing out on money for the last 4 years.
All right, Miigwech, let's give him another round of applause. And thank you for catching that. Gee, I would have thought that. I guess I'm already thinking the end. Juanetta, Joe, come on down.
Hey.
Have a
So
seat
the price
here.
is right.
The price is right. So we have 3 questions for you, and you'll have 1 minute to answer each question. Question number 1, what is the separation of powers and how would you make sure it is followed?
Well, I don't think it's followed right now. I think that we need to do more collaboration, because right now, because we don't have a separation of powers, right? One side of the government is more powerful than the other, and then we don't have balance. Couple of the things that I wanted to talk about is, do you guys know how much money is in our long-term savings? Because I don't. And isn't that one of the things about transparency that we talk about, or that we're told about? I don't know what's in there. Do you know how much is in your child's minor trust account? Have you ever been told? Is there any information out there that tells you how much money is in your kid's account? I've never saw it.
Okay, well, Miigwech, thank you. That
You're
was your
welcome.
1 minute. Question number 2, where do you see the band's assets going in the next 4 years?
Well, depending on the opportunities that we have through our businesses at corporate, it would depend on how it would depend on how we want to spend that money, right? We want to invest it in the investment committee that Sheldon's coming up with. You know, that's what we would need to do, is to make sure that we keep our investments so that they're making enough money. So with that, do you know how much money is in our long-term investments? I don't, right? Do you? Okay, 15 seconds. I was also thinking about being a puppet, because I'm not a puppet. I don't have any strings attached to me. So,
Okay,
say-
well, thank you for that response.
you're welcome.
Your last and final question, if it was 2026 and you were the incumbent, what did you accomplish during your term?
A few of the things that I wanted to talk about with financial accountability is, I'll tell you what's in your child's trust account. I'll tell you, if you're 18 to 23, do you know what's in your trust account? I'll tell you that. I'll tell you how much money we have in long-term savings. I'll give you financial accountability through the financial aspect of the band. I can save money on expenses like nobody's business, right? I know finances. I've done it for 24 years, 24 years as an executive, multi-million-dollar budgets. That's my experience. And if you want change, choose me, vote for Juanetta Thompson, because I can make that change. I ain't afraid, as you can tell just by what I've been saying.
Miigwech.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Peace.
No. Where's Sheena, or what comes next? Jamie? Is that the closing comments? Closing comments, okay. And how long do they have? A minute? 3? Okay, we'll ask Wally to come back up. You'll have 3 minutes to do your closing statements while the other ones are joining us, so get you situated here. Okay, ready, start.
I want to make one thing clear about the representatives that are elected into office. The District 1, 2, and 3, they're lawmakers. They amend law, they update law, they create law. And we spend money. We appropriate money to different departments for special requests that they may have in government spending. One of the things that I was, initiatives that I mentioned was updating some of the statutes. Is when I got in there, I noticed that CMD got a budget, but they weren't in statute. Yet Public Works, Utilities, and Roads, they were in statute. I meant facilities, not roads. They were in statute, but they weren't getting a budget. So I was thinking, hey, there's something wrong here. So I tasked our lawmaking attorneys and say, you know, let's fix this. Because right now, Public Works, Facilities, and Utilities, they're all under, in housing, they're all under CMD. So why can't we consolidate all of those under that title, and we can repeal certain titles, make room for others? And how long has this sat there? Nobody made any attempt to take a look at that and say, you know, there's something wrong with our statutes, that something is wrong. Why a CMD doesn't exist in statute, but yet they're getting a budget. So I fixed that. And there's other things that exist in statute today that can be consolidated into one because they all serve the same purpose. And one thing we don't do as legislators is we don't oversee CMD. We don't have authority over HHS. We don't oversee DNR, education. We have no authority to dictate to them how you may see it. All we can do is work with the chief executive, the commissioner of administration, and the commissioners of that department. It's not that we go and talk to them, it's how we go and talk to them. You know, you go in there with a positive atmosphere, treat them like band members, because I swore an oath when I took office to be fair to all my band members. And all my band members are those commissioners. They're all band members that sit in there. Not at the current moment, because there's a couple of vacant, there's one vacant position. But they're all band members. So I gotta be kind to them and say, you know, how do we get to yes on some of these issues that exist? You know, let's sit down and work. Intelligent person to intelligent person to come up with a solution to some of the issues we face. Me good.
Be good, Bob. Okay, the next up, we'd like to call up Tommy Benjamin. You'll have 3 minutes to make your closing statement.
For those of you that understand and know what the neglect has been within District 2, Minnesota. So many years I've told over and over, and I've even been told myself before I was even, before I could even vote. And I've seen it over and over. But yet, after I've seen so much neglect within our district that we are so culturally enriched in, we as a people in our district, Minnesota, deserve a piece of the pie that has been never given and so neglected and being put as a back burner or a third world. Electing me as the voice of the people in that district that we so are in love with. Enough with being a yes man or yes ma'am to the ongoing things that are neglected from our district. We as a people need to see the economic development that we so rightfully deserve as the others. We as a people need to have that same opportunity as everybody else does. And we will achieve that as a people if you elect me. And the ones that divide, like I said before and over again, they will not have that opportunity to do that again and to neglect us anymore as we strive forward to enrich ourselves, just as other Anishinaabe has done. But we as a people, as we come together, again, vote Tom Benjamin. Miigwech.
Miigwech. Next, we'll ask Wendy to come forward. No, I'm sorry, Michael. Getting ahead of myself again. Okay, you know the drill. Closing statement, 3 minutes. Okay.
Again, I'm looking for your support. Vote Mike Hobbit. And I got your back. Thank you. Everybody have a good day, evening.
Miigwech. Okay, now we'll move on to Wendy. Sorry about that.
No, I'm gonna sit because there's more people on
Started.
Okay, I just want to say miigwech to Bernita. Miigwech to everybody that showed up tonight. And I appreciate those that came out to listen, those that inspired me to run, those that gave me great advice, and those band members I have met with and shared your thoughts and concerns since actively campaigning back in December. I really want to make a difference in our community. I want it to be a place to thrive. I want to be your voice, to be involved, work together to solve those big issues that we see every day. Finding new fair opportunities for our District 2 community. And I don't consider myself running against my opponents. I am fighting for the opportunity for our kids in District 2 to get their fair share of the Blackspan dream. I am fighting for our fair share of healthcare so that our District 2 elders can live the best life and feel safe. I am fighting for our fair share of housing so that District 2 families can have reliable roofs over their heads. I am fighting for our fair share of jobs so District 2 hardworking men and women can work in their communities. I am fighting for a fair share for educational fundings and opportunities so our children in District 2 can set sights high and obtain necessary tools to compete in today's economy. These are things that are meaningful to me, just as they're meaningful to you all. I promise you, as your District 2 rep, I will be engaged, present, and listen to the people. That was one advice an elder gave to me. We have great challenges and great opportunities ahead of us, and with your vote, we will meet them and make the next upcoming years the best years. I'm asking for your support today to vote on April 5th. And if you can't, you can vote early. Please turn out and cast your vote. In closing, I humbly ask to consider myself Wendy Merrill, Bebaskane Ojibwe, for District 2 Representative. Miigwech.
Miigwech. Okay, we'll move on to the Secretary Treasurer's position, the candidates. And our first one to give her closing statement will be Carolyn. You'll have 3 minutes. And stand, sit, it's up to you.
All right. Thanks again, everyone, for coming to hear us here at the Urban Office tonight. So that question that the reps got about lateral oppression, I wish we would have got that, but I'm going to go ahead and answer to that. How you heal from that is you got to stop with the special treatment of band members. Everybody needs to be treated equally and fairly. There can't be any more nepotism, cronyism, or favoritism, you know, friends hiring friends and things like that. It needs to be fair across the board, not only with hiring, but with programs and services. You make it fair, you're going to get people upset. And another thing with that is everything needs to be transparent. Housing lists and things like that need to be public. So you can see if someone's getting passed up over the housing list. So that's my 2 cents on the lateral oppression part. Please check out my Facebook page. You know, these forums certainly isn't enough time to learn about everything you need to know about your candidate. So check out my Facebook page, read my flyers, call me, ask me questions. I will answer anything. One of the things I didn't touch on was I want maximum funding for family retention and reunification as opposed to out-of-home placements. We still got a lot of kids in foster care and out-of-home placements, and it's just disheartening that you know, elders are passing away without even seeing their grandchildren. And I've heard from a couple of grandparents who are very upset over not being able to visit with their grandchildren. The drug epidemic is still with us. Up back home, I'd like to get a detox center up there. So if somebody wants to have immediate, you know, treatment, not treatment, but sobering up, they have a place to go. Right now, if you want to sober up, you know, you got to wait weeks and days just to get a Rule 25. In conjunction with that, I think we can push for an addict intervention, which would work well with the wellness court that's being developed right now. You know, family members can petition the court and say, hey, we got a family member who is endangering themselves. They're not making good decisions and they need to go to treatment. And maybe we can get them some court order treatment. That would probably only apply on reservation, but it's a start. Housing. in addition to just having more options for everyone, we need to have a home buyback program for band members who want to sell their homes back to the band and move for whatever reason. Maybe they can't get a job around where they're at. They can sell their home back and move. We can easily put that house into rental stock. Mortgage forgiveness for elders who have paid off a certain amount of their loans. You know, our life expectancy isn't that long. Let's forgive their mortgage so they can use their money for other things. And I think that's about it. That's all I have time for. Thank you.
Be good. Sheldon Boyd. So you'll have 3 minutes to give your closing statement, and we'll be timing you again. They'll be flashing your cards if you're running over time, but please have a seat and keep your eye on the screen as well. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right. So in closing, you have to remember that the Secretary Treasurer is probably the only person specifically tied to finance and taking care of the financial investments of the band. That's other duty is lawmaking, but for the purposes of this last few minutes, let me focus on the investments and in particular the minor trust accounts. For the first time ever, we had a look at those from an independent evaluation, and we're going to correct that. There were a lot of, in words, there were severe failings in how those monies were, how the people's money was being handled. And in very simple terms, investments, you have investments to make money, to use your money to make money. And our investments weren't making the kind of money they're supposed to. And the point I want to circle back to and point out to membership, this involves all our minors, all our minor trust funds, those kids who already drew out their monies and are drawing out those monies. Those minor trust funds should have made more money. So those kids missed out on a lot of money, and it's probably too late for my son. He's 16, and everybody who's 16, 18 and who's already done. Those guys missed out on a lot of money because of how that was handled. We're going to have to fix that, or we will fix that. And so all the kids who are smaller and younger now, those investment portfolios for those minor trusts will make the money they're supposed to. And so we'll be correcting that for the children and the overall larger investment. What this person is supposed to do is provide economic security for the rest of the band, for all your per caps, all your programs, and how all that stuff works. This person works in the background and makes sure there's enough money in case of like a catastrophe. And you all seen those casinos close. The unthinkable happened is those casinos closed, and you're supposed to be able to weather that storm. And this is the person you look to in those times when the unthinkable happens. And that's called economic security, and we're fixing that. We have a real good idea how that what's happened and how to fix that. That's happening next. We'll get that done with this investment board. We'll get that all those numbers back to your elected officials over there at the Madam Chief and all those people who represent you, and give them options about how they're going to handle things in the future. Miigwech.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. Juanetta. Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to me tonight. I wanted to finish my opening statement because I didn't get to finish it. So when I talked about, we also have people hiring their friends instead of band members, racism and lateral violence happening to our own people in our businesses and government. It's time to stop the corruption. We need housing. We need to foster a sense of community. We need healthy outlets for our children and our families. We need educational programs that involve the whole family. We need our band members managing and making decisions in our businesses. We need enforcement of American Indian preference. We need accountability. My dream is that every band member is living their best life. My loyalties and passion are for the people and the future of the Mille Lacs Band. If you want to follow me, you can check me out on Facebook. I have an email at electjuanetta@gmail.com, and you can call me on my cell phone, 763-286-3855. Got a couple questions that I want you guys to think about. Sheldon just talked about the minor trust accounts and the mismanaging of our money. Why is he sharing this now? Why at election time? Why is it, who is going to be held accountable for that? For mismanaging our money? Aren't you guys tired of it? I know I am. I'm tired of it, man. We need to know where our money are, where our money is. We need to know. We need to know this stuff. Why are we paying thousands of dollars in property taxes when we can save that money by moving that land into trust? Superintending the finances of the band. Is that superintending the finances of the band? Why does Band Assembly have a work session to discuss agenda items before the live stream? What questions do our representatives ask? What's being discussed? Why isn't it transparent? Why isn't it on the live stream? Why didn't we get a 2022 election guide? Is this a political tactic to withhold candidate information from you? Good question, huh?
No, this.
What about Big Sandy? Band members work there.
No.
No, I know one band member
You want to
that
listen to this?
said they were treating her bad there. That's normal. That's
It's
normal.
your money. It's our money. We nug.
Be quick.
I was wondering who the old lady was that was talking here, Bernita.
Say thank you so much for everybody joining us this evening. We are going to East Lake tomorrow night, same schedule. If you want to attend, please feel free to come up and listen to the forum again if you still want some more questions.
Yeah.
If not, we'd like to take this time and thank you so much for your patience this evening. Miigwech and good night. Travel safe.